Now the divine kingship passes to Lutunegal. Even though he wasn't the firstborn son, now the middle son became the heir, because the firstborn son ruled until his death, but produced no sons, so he had no heir, and the kingship passed to his brother. He was the third person to rule Nibiru, and he married the daughter of Anki's half-brother Nin, called Lil, the Lady of Lil. These names keep on confusing me so much. Then the royal records go on to say that Anib and Ninib had a son, and he was the fourth ruler of Nibiru. And Anshargal wanted to be known by his royal name, which meant Anu's prince, the greatest of all princes. He sounds like he has a huge ego, doesn't he? And as his wife, he chose his half-sister, Ashargal. Yes, they both had the same name. Now his primary goal was to learn and understand things. He worked hard to learn how the heavens worked. He was fascinated by the cosmos, planets, stars, and he studied this a lot, his whole entire life. He looked into Nibiru's big circle, its orbit, whose length had to be set at a shar. 1 year on Nibiru, a shar, was used to track how long each king and queen ruled on Nibiru. Literally, tracking the year was only to determine how long these people had ruled. So he figured out how long a shar was, and then he divided it in two and created two festivals. When the closest to the sun, a festival of warmth was held. When Nibiru went to its faraway home, a festival of coldness was set up. And by faraway home, they mean when Nibiru is farthest away from the sun in this weird orbit that it does. These two festivals were set up to replace all the festival of the previous tribes and nations to bring all the peoples together. He set up laws for husbands and wives, sons and daughters by decree. He also made the customs of the first tribes laws for all of the lands. Because of all of the wars that had happened previously on Nibiru, now there were a lot more women than men, and he made the rule that one man could have more than one female as wives, due to the fact that there was this overpopulation of females without husbands. So to be able to take care of them, there needed to be more wives given for each man, since the men had all died in battles. This is when plurimarriage started. The tradition of having concubines was already in practice. Then he made a law that only one wife could be the official wife, the official spouse. Now by law, the firstborn son always took over for the father. But by following these rules, people started to get confused, and they needed clarification. So, if the firstborn son was not born of a first wife, then a son was born by the first wife. Who became the legal heir by law? Who will be the next leader was the grand dilemma. The one with the most firstborn children, or the one that was born by the first wife?